Okay, try this again. Here we go. Try two. I'm going to make a new part. Been having some trouble here. Alright, so that's loading faster. That's good. I want to start anything that we do with a 2D sketch. You don't have to click here. You certainly do not want 3D. It's got to be 2D. Okay, so we're going to start with a 2D sketch. 2D sketch. There we go. I like to choose the XY plane. It's the one that you're most familiar with. Yay, it's working this time. Woohoo! Okay, so we need to make a box. And there's many ways to do this. I'm going to start with a rectangle. Okay, so let's see here. Rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. I can use any of these. I think the 2-point is best for this kind of a thing. Make sure you put your point on the origin. Click, take your hand off the mouse, make a box, click again. There's no specific dimensions this time to this. That's okay. And now, green means go. Finish the sketch. Let's get it centered. Click the cube with the origin. There we go. Now let's make it a box. To make it a box, we want to extrude it. So I'm going to go over here to the extrude command. Click that. Now, it didn't know of any other options, right? So there were no other profiles, so this is what you get. You could make it go backwards, you can go forwards, you can make it symmetrical, you can even grab this, make it bigger, or make it smaller. It doesn't really matter today, it's just a box. Okay. Alright, very good. So, you need to take a screenshot. If you're on one of the Windows machines, you hit the Windows button, Shift, and S. This allows you to take a screenshot. I'm going to click and drag my box. Copy it. Alright, so there we see it on the clipboard. We're going to go to the document here, paste it in. There's my box. Okay, that's drawing number 1. So we're going to look at drawing number 2 here. Now, obviously, we've done these before. You've seen how to draw them on the previous assignment. We need to draw this, and we could draw it one of 2 ways. We could draw it with addition and make all the parts specific and then extrude it, or we could draw it by subtraction and draw the bigger part around it and then cut it. For this one, it makes sense to me to do subtraction, but you're going to end up doing, at the end of the day, both. So let's go back to Inventor. Now this is 4 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches. Let's make a new part. Make a new part. Okay, I'm in part number 2. Start with the sketch. XY plane. Now, rectangle again. Click here. Now, before I do just clicky again, I'm going to say what? I know that it's 4 inches. I'm going to hit the tab key by 3 inches. And now I can't see it, but you know what? If I click the front of my view cube here, oh, there we go. Do it that way. It shows up. Okay. Now I'm going to hit enter. Let's try hitting front again. There we go. That works really well. So I know that it's 4 inches by 3 inches. Let's go back, check here. 4 inches, right? There's 3 plus 1 is 4. And then there's the 3 inches. And now we got to make it 2 inches deep. Okay, so let's, green means go, finish the sketch. Then we're going to extrude it. It's the only thing on here, so that's what it knows. Now this needs to be bigger. So I'm going to make it 2. So you can come over here and make it 2 inches. Okay? You could do it symmetrical, you could do it all kind of different ways. Today, I'm going to do it symmetrical because it's going to make my life easier later. Alright, there's my box. Let's take a look at it. Okay, All right. Now I'm going to show you some tricks to do this, and hopefully you'll enjoy the tricks and it'll work for you. I know that this is 1 inch by 2.5 inches. So I'm going to come back over here. Now I want to draw on this. Well, it's drawn. Let's go and make another sketch. Draw on the surface here. Okay. Now I'm going to just use lines this time. Okay, line. I'm going to start in my corner. Now I know it's 2.5 inches. Okay. Get a little spider. Get off my phone. Silly spider. 2.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to hit escape. Let's go back into line, and I'm going to make a line here that is 1 inch. Okay, let's make sure I get it on the line here. Okay. Now, this doesn't help me. I mean, it helps me, but I'm not done yet. I need to draw. Excuse me. I need to draw another line that goes from, see the green dot, to the green dot. And now I'm going to draw a line from the green dot. Oops. Try again. Draw a line from green dot to green dot. This should be a nice piece for us. So one last thing I'm going to do is project geometry to make sure that's there. That means I can use all of these lines. I'm going to finish the sketch. Now, what do I have here? Let's go back and look. I have this piece right here. All right, we're going to come back, and now I'm going to extrude not this piece, but this piece. It's like that. But I'm going the wrong way, right? So if we look here, it needs to go in. So instead, I'm going to hit flipped. But that's too far. Too far. So I could do it this way. That would be one way I could do it. Or I could also click in here. After looking that it's 1 inch, I'm going to type 1, and there we go. And there we go. So that's the first cut that we've made. So now if we look at this, we have this piece. Doesn't match this piece. It's pretty close. We still have to cut this piece out here. Now I know that it goes up 1.5, and it goes over 1. So 1 here, and then 1.5 up. So let's draw it again, right? Let's make another 2D sketch. But this time we're going to point to this surface. Okay, we'll click front. Now I'm going to draw with lines again. I want to go up 1.5, hit enter, escape. I'm going to draw a line from here this way, draw 1, make sure I get it on the line, and then I'm going to draw a line to here. I'm going to project my geometry just to make sure I have everything, and I should be able to say finish sketch. Let's see if this works, and extrude. Yes, it does look like it's going to work. This time I'm going to show you, instead of hitting this arrow, you can hit cut. And I want to cut this face, and it seems to know exactly how much I want to cut it. That's okay for today. I hit OK. And there I have my object. Let's see if it matches. Yes, it does match. I am going to hit Windows Shift S. Going to take a picture of it. It's on the clipboard. Now let's go back to my drawing here. And this is how you do this. And then you paste it in. Okay, we have one more that we need to do here. Let's see, let's do this model here. All right, this one. Let's look at the shape of this. We have 3 inches by 1.5 inches by 1 inch. So 3 by 1.5 by 1. So let's start by making that outside box. Let's make a new part. I come up to new part. Okay, so I'm going to start a new sketch. Okay, you can use a rectangle. Let's double check 3 by 1.5. So we'll make this 3 tab 1.5 tab enter. Now we'll click front. There it is. And that works for me. That works for me. I'm like that. So I've got 3 by 1.5. I'm going to green means go. Finish. I want to be able to see it, so I use the view cube. Now I'm going to extrude it. Oh, wait, how deep was it? It's only 1 inch deep. Okay, so this works. 1 inch. We're good. We're just going to click OK. So this is our start piece. Now let's see what we have to cut out of it. We need to cut out, well, let's figure this out. This is 1/2 inch. The whole thing is 1.5 inches. So that means from here to here has got to be 1 inch, because 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. So I need to cut out a 1 inch box that's 1/2 inch deep. Okay, so let's make a sketch. Okay, click front. I'm going to use my lines this time again. I know that this is 0.5. And I know that this goes down 1. Okay. Let's get it nice and straight. Okay, and then this comes all the way to the side. Notice it turns, there we go. That's a nice color. Alright, going to project my geometry to point to the whole thing. And now I'm going to finish the sketch. I want to get rid of it, so I'm going to use the extrude command. And I'm going to just go ahead and say cut. And it's just going to get rid of it for me. Now I'm going to click OK. Alright, so let's check our design here. So far this works. Now all I have left is I have to do 2 circles here, and then I have to do this rounded edge here. Okay, so what kind of circle is this? Well, I'm going to show you a new trick that the other class is learning. What we're going to do is we're going to make a 2D sketch. We're going to point to the top of this now. Click. Top. Now let's look. I have a hole that's directly in the middle of this, at least it appears to be. And let's see, one is 1/2 inch and the other was 1 inch. So let's do this. Let's make a point. One here and one here. Now I'm pretty sure I did not get these correct, so let's dimension them to make them correct. So I'm going to select my hole. I'm going to select this edge here. We're going to call this 0.5. That's 0.5. And because I always double check, this one's 1, so let's dimension this one to this one, and we'll call this one 1 inch. Okay, now I have 2 points. Let's go ahead and get these exactly in the middle. So I'm going to draw a dimension to the point, dimension to the line. I think this whole thing's 1 inch, right? So we'll call this 0.5. I was close, but not quite. And we'll do the same thing over here. Make this one also 0.5. There we go. Now I'm 5s all the way around. Let's just kind of look at this. Yes, I did that correctly. Now, so I have 2 points. What do I do with that? Let's just make some holes, and then we'll be done. Okay, so now that we're gonna make these holes, I like to look at this from a perspective. It's a little bit easier to see what we're doing here. We want a simple hole. We want it to go through all or all the way through. And the diameter of the hole, let's check that. Oops. Okay, the diameter of the hole is, that's the diameter sign, 0.5. So let's go back and make this 0.5. And that makes them the right size. That's how you do a hole correctly. You can't just point and do holes. You gotta, there's a little bit of a process. That's it right there. We're gonna hit OK. Boom. Now what do we have left? So we have our holes. Now we need this rounded edge here. And it's completely smooth around all the way, and unfortunately it does not give us the best dimensions here, but I think I can figure out how to do this. To do this, we're actually going to use a tool called Fillet. You can fillet in a sketch, and then you can put a fillet on a 3D object. We're going to put a fillet on a 3D object. Click on Fillet. Let me open my menu so you guys can see it. Now, the whole thing is 1 inch, and if I want it to be perfectly round, well, then I have to take exactly half of that. So I'm going to make it 0.5. I'm going to tell it what the radius is before I point. I'm going to point to this line here, and then this line here, and I've got my exactly really beautiful 1/2 inch fillet. This is the little mini menu here, which is kind of nice. And then there we go. Let's double check my drawing. That looks like what I have. Okay, and I'm going to copy it by using this. Okay, go back over here, put that in there, Control V. All right. Now something I'd like you guys to do, I don't know. Okay, I think that looks good enough. All right, there we go.